Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thanks for those that were tuning in a little bit early. Good to have you here. See Cindy. Hello, Cindy and Kelly and Anthony in the chat there as well. If you are watching live, you can say hello in the chat and engage with David and I when I bring him up. And if you're watching the replay, you can certainly leave a comment if you have any questions about what we're chatting about. I love to see what you're asking about and answer any questions that you have. So please use the chat feature, which is on the right-hand side if you're watching live, or ask a comment or ask a question and leave a comment in the comment section of the video. So good to have everybody watching. We've got a great show all about the Tutor Resource today, and just want to see if anyone else is popping in the chat to say hello. We've got Gloria. Hello, everyone. This is Mrs. G. Actually, I went by Mr. G when I was a teacher in brick and mortar schools. American living in El Salvador, teaching ESL to Chinese early learners. Very cool. Anthony's looking for resources to share with his wife, currently teaching for Savvy Reading and another independent teaching company, but would love to branch out on her own. Cool. Awesome. You can actually go to onlineteacherdude.com/enroll. I'm launching the launch course really soon in the next couple of days. So if you want to join the wait list, you can check that out. Hey, Seaton, good to have you. I haven't seen you in ages. Hello, Brody. I think you are David's wife. Good to have you. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about the Tutor Resource and learning a little bit about what is on that website and how it can help independent teachers. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know I've talked about a breadth of topics within online teaching. I got started talking about companies, specifically VIP Kid and GoGo Kid, and helping teachers through the demo lessons there. I've talked about marketplace companies and ways that you can kind of move along that progression of online teaching from company to eventually going out on your own, if that's something that you want to do, to be able to charge higher rates, to maybe work less hours and be a little bit more in control over your schedule. So my YouTube channel is full of videos all about independent teaching. I've got lots of great interviews on there with teachers that have made that transition from teaching with companies to teaching on their own. And one of the things that often comes up is, how to find curriculum. And I've done different videos about curriculum resources, but I'm always looking for other, options for independent teachers. And I've sort of fallen into, a little bit accidentally, being a resource channel for online teachers, whether you're with a company or going out on your own as an independent teacher. So I like to be able to share things that online teachers are doing to serve other teachers. Maybe it's services or products or courses, things like that. So I like to be able to feature that on the channel here. So today we're going to be talking about the Tutor Resource. And let me just make sure David's ready. Are you ready? Give me a thumbs up and I'll bring him up. Awesome. All right. So welcome, David.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for. What time is it there? Where are you, by the way? I know where
Right
you
now, today I'm still in Guatemala. It's 8 in the morning.
Okay, not too
I'll be,
early, but early enough.
yeah, heading to I saw one of your listeners actually in El Salvador. We're going
Yeah.
there in a couple of days. We're leaving in like 2-3 days to head to
Oh,
El
nice.
Salvador.
For to do a house sit there, or
Actually, just moving through El Salvador really quickly on our way to Costa Rica, where we've got about 3 house sets set up. So we're going to do El
okay.
Salvador and Nicaragua pretty quickly.
So that's one thing that's really cool about you and your family, is that you travel and live in different countries by house sitting, right?
Yeah, primarily, yeah. We try to get as many house sits as we can, but yeah, occasionally
Would you say
Airbnbs.
you do sometimes stay at Airbnbs?
Sometimes if there's nothing else available, or trying to be something in between, because it's hard to get a house sit to match up perfectly with one another.
Right. Yeah, I would imagine you kind of, if you're going to move from house sit to house sit, you've got to, have it kind of lined up perfectly. So I'm sure there's some gaps in there.
Yeah.
Somehow. Yeah, so that's cool. I mean, that's not what this is about, but I just think that people would love to hear, how
We're
that
gonna be
works and stuff. So
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a whole workshop. Like you've got your workshop coming up. We've got a whole workshop that we're developing right now, teaching people how to do what we do with the traveling. So
yeah, that's so cool. So any travelers out there, I mean, online teaching is like the best job for being able to travel and live a little bit nomadically. And
Really
You
is.
know, one of the big expenses, I mean, I don't know if it's a big expense, but it can be, is finding accommodations, and especially short-term accommodations. So yeah, house sitting is a really cool option. So awesome. Gloria says, stop by El Salvador. I have an Airbnb there. Very cool.
That's awesome.
Confessions of a Curmudgeon. Jim here, new to ESL teaching, mostly volunteers, CC English, and Jewish Family Services. Okay, I don't know anything about that, but welcome to the show. So, yeah, David, do you go by Dave or David?
David.
David, okay, so tell us a little bit about how you, like, what's your online teaching journey? I know you were with VIP Kid for a while.
Yeah.
Tell the
I
folks about what your online teaching experience has been like.
I always wanted to be a teacher and trainer. Always wanted to work with people. I actually got my first start when I was an admissions rep for an online school, and I started getting into teaching and training there. So I did some corporate training. My boss went on a limb, taught me the ropes, and let me do some local trainings. And I was like, I like this. Yeah, I was nervous a lot, but I like this. And so then I went and finished my master's degree in education through the same school. And then they hired me for one of their sister schools to be a professor. So I was an adjunct professor, working with mostly adults who were returning to school after what 20 years sometimes of not being able to do it. So I taught them the student success course, which was basically an introduction, learn how to learn on how to go to school again as an adult. I managed the
Wow.
computer lab, that type of thing, all
Okay.
virtually as an online educator. And this was back in '06. So
Okay.
before this was really a big thing with online education. And we traveled. My wife and I, we've been traveling since we really met. We had a destination wedding and everything. So even while doing that, I trained and I taught and I held classes. We made sure that when we went to St. Lucia, we had to have an Airbnb that had a really good internet connection so that I could teach these classes, and everything. So it was great. And then I went from that back into more management at there. So I was doing management of the call center as well as teaching. And eventually, when my son was born, I kind of left everything because I wanted to be a stay-at-home dad, and got into online education with kids. And that was with VIP Kid, and I loved it. So the hours were great. I had no problem getting up early. I mean, I had pretty much a newborn, so I was up early anyway. Same thing with staying up late. Set up a little home office, and we decided, you know what? Let's see if we can make a go of it. Eventually, my wife was like, she was done working corporate wise anyway. She didn't want to do it anymore. So it was like, let's just travel. We've always wanted to. So let's just
Mm.
figure out how we can make this logistically happen. So we set up a plan. Then we started selling everything in our home,
Okay.
literally everything. And then we sold the house as well. And we just packed up our bags. We started house sitting across the U.S., hopped on a cruise and went over to Asia. And yeah, and now we're here in Mexico, or well, Guatemala now.
Yeah, and we were talking before, but I found out you guys were in Malaysia. Probably we crossed a little bit because I was there for about 8 years, including my 4 years not teaching in the school system there, and then the first 4 years was teaching for an international school. So yeah, what countries in Asia have you lived in?
Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Myanmar, and I think that we visited Thailand and Cambodia years before, but during that trip, those were mainly our places. So we really want to
Okay.
go back again. I'd like to make Kuala Lumpur our home base. Just so easy
Yeah,
to get from place to place.
it is. It's a great city. Great city. I miss it a lot. We've got someone from Cambodia here. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Huibra. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name correctly. I've seen you on the lives before. Hey, Cindy. Good to have you. I was watching one of your videos the other day. And CZ, my Spanish teacher, is in Guatemala. Very cool. Yeah, it's such a great job to be able to teach online and travel. I know a lot of VIP Kid teachers and other company teachers were or still are traveling teachers, so it's pretty awesome. And awesome that you're able to do it by house sitting as well and save a lot of money. So everything happened in 2021 with the regulations in China, right? We're
Yeah,
pretty familiar with that. You and your wife were contracted with VIP Kid?
correct.
Okay. And then did you move independent, or where did how did the Tutor Resource
Yeah,
come into life there?
we kind of saw the writing on the wall for a little while. I mean, while we were in Malaysia still, we were just like noticing the trends that were happening in China, and we were like, something's gonna give. I need to have a backup plan. So originally, I thought my backup plan would be like applying for some of the other schools,
Yeah.
Palfish and all them. I'm like, and then I was just like, when we were in Mexico during like May, June, July, it was just like becoming more and more apparent that this is all going to come crashing down. We need to have some kind of a backup plan. So I started talking to all my students privately after every class, sending out my QR codes and doing all the things that everybody's doing now. And uh, I managed to retain about 15 of my students personally. So I felt
Cool.
like I'd be comfortable, but then it came down to, what do I do? What do I teach them? VIP Kid always provided the materials, and so I started making some lessons. A friend of mine, she was also making lessons, and she's like, "Let's just get a group of people together to make lessons, so that we can all have what we need when we need it for the right level." And so that's kind of where it all started. And I was like, "Well, why don't, instead of we're just using it for us, let's get it out there to other people." We originally sold it on Teachers Pay Teachers. Then we decided let's do something bigger. And over the Thanksgiving, Christmas holiday, I built a website, the Tutor Resource. It was the start of it, at least. Put a few Christmas and holiday Thanksgiving lessons on there for myself just to see what would happen. Started moving over the what is now the Teachers Together English lessons, and building a group on there. And then I opened it up to other educators to do the same thing, so that those of us that make lessons for ourselves, whether it's an online education like this, or whether it's like your standard classroom history classes, or um, Italian classes, or anything, you can have a place where whatever you build, it doesn't have to sit in your Google Drive, taking up space until you need it again someday. It can actually make you some residual income going forward, and that was the goal.
Yeah, that's so cool because I think this industry has opened up so many opportunities for teachers to think a little bit outside the box, and how can I create some other income sources in addition to just teaching classes? Because with classes, you're just trading time for money, right? But when you have something that you're able to sell as a product, service, or resource, it can create over time. It takes time; it's not an overnight thing, but it can create residual passive income there. Passive is not necessarily the right word, but there's work
Yeah.
involved for sure. But it can if you set it up well. Hey, Maria, good to see you. Katie's interested in the Airbnb thing. Yeah, it's or the house hunting thing. Very cool. Cece, how do I start teaching English? I have a free course, onlineteacherdo.com/free course, but really the industry's changed a lot in the last year, and depending on where you're from and your experience and degrees and things like that, it's a little bit more challenging. There are companies out there, they don't pay very well, but there are still some global companies out there that are hiring, but it's a little bit more difficult than it used to be with the Chinese companies. So yeah, the Tutor Resource. So tell us about the Tutor Resource. What is the Tutor Resource, and how does it help independent teachers?
Well, to start, it's something that's created so that you can have your own little store. So anybody can join it. It's a free resource. So you can get your free account. Just go to the tutorresource.com, go to the login and sign up page. You'll create your free account. You can start browsing through anybody else's material that's already on there through the search features, or some of it has already been categorized and itemized. You can see curriculums that are on there. There are people who are putting together full curriculums. Some of it is complete, some of it is ongoingly being created. Uh, and if you have something that you want to share, you would just contact us, apply to be a vendor. We can get your material on there. And if you want it to be featured with your own like web page, like some of them have their own web pages, that's a service that we offer. We were able to build those for you. Um, And I mean, it's just a charge, but it can come out of your profits if you want, or as a fee. So there's lots of different options.
Okay.
Um, that's really the basic. All teachers that get on get their own profile page, which you can set up in a bunch of different ways with a lot of different information, including like on mine, I've got videos of me teaching. I've got my VIP Kid intro video on there so that I can share this page with potential students, and they can see this is how he teaches, or this is what brought me students for VIP Kid. So I'm like, this will bring me students privately as well.
Right.
I've got reviews. Like I copied all the reviews that I had on VIP Kid, and I put them in here as image files, so teachers can or students can sort through them and say, "Oh, all right. So this is what other students have thought of him." Uh, your skill sets. There's just so much things you can do. Pictures. Um, whatever you want, and there's a community in there, so if you find other teachers, you can communicate with them and share best practices with them, all within the system, and that's all part of the free service. So
Okay. So would you say it like it could so it has other elements to it, but would you say at its core it's kind of a curriculum marketplace, or are you developing other things beyond that, like the profile and the website builder
yeah,
and things like that?
at its core, yeah, it's a curriculum, a lesson marketplace,
Okay.
uh, designed for online, because there are other sites out there, but they are mainly for brick and mortar.
Right.
You lose control of your material because somebody else can download it. So we set it
Yeah.
up on a rental basis. Some things are downloadable, depends on what the creator wanted, but this
Okay.
gives creator control, and that was what I wanted
Okay.
to do.
So I mean, a lot of maybe the teachers that follow me, and I've done, videos on different curriculums. Like Katie's in here; she has Abridge, and
Yeah,
there's some larger ones out there that are, maybe being used. But I've been looking around on the site, and there's some curriculum that I've never heard of before. So maybe smaller ones, and if you're looking for something um, that I've shared that doesn't necessarily suit what you're looking for, there's a lot of options on there right now, on your site. So there's really something for everybody. So if you're looking for online ESL curricula and want more options, I was quite impressed with all the choices. So it's really good. So people can go and access curriculum, purchase curriculum from different individual creators, right? And then if you are a curriculum creator, you can also house your curriculum on that site as well. Is that correct?
that is correct.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it goes through a
mo-
process of applying and things like that.
Yeah, most people, it's simply as embedding the code. There's a share code basically from your own Google Drive or your Microsoft Outlook Access account, or whatever creation tool you made. Like I've got a ebook teaching people how to do it from Canva, Genially, Edpuzzle, anything that can be embedded. We can put your lesson on the site for other people to use, whether it's interactive or whether it's static.
Okay. And the curriculum that is on there, those creators can also like have their own site, right? They can also market in their own way, or is it strictly on your site? How does that work?
Yeah, there's no proprietary. Like, if somebody wanted to, like, I do have one on there going up. She put her level one on the site. Some of it
Okay.
is for marketing, so people do the level one, and then they can go over to her site, do level two, three, four.
Okay.
And she does have plans. If it works out great on the tutor resource, she might just move it all over. But right now, the remainder is on her other site. People like Katie could house some stuff on our site if she wanted to, just like with Learnaline and everything else. There are other things out there. Our site is a way for we can bring them together. People can get the name out there more, and we just have access to a lot of different material in one spot, so teachers have choice.
Okay. All right. Anthony's asking, are these curriculums strictly for ESL?
Currently, we have majority of things on there for ESL. I'm actually in the process of working with a couple of creators, including Brenda, who's been doing a lot with the Ukrainians
Yeah.
teacher outreach, and she's uploading just regular story time courses for teachers to work with their brick and mortar, or if they have summer classes, it's a chance for kids to learn to read at different age groups. I've got another teacher who in August, she's going to be finishing and putting on her Italian lessons, teaching from adults from level 0 all the way up how to speak
Okay.
Italian. We are working with
Cool.
another teacher on music, history. There's several other courses coming on board. So we can branch out into other areas as the world has seen that online
Sure.
education is the thing.
Yeah, and I think, it's the tutor resource, so you could be tutoring different subjects. It's not just ESL, but
Yep.
what you're saying is that's primarily what's on there right now and hoping to
Yeah,
grow into other things.
we started with our contact base and our current, circle of people that we're with, which is
Yeah.
ESL, and we branch out slowly as we go.
All right, so let's bring it up so folks can see and you can maybe walk us through it. I'll add it to the stream here and I'll embed us down here at the bottom. So
So
take
here,
it
this
away.
is this is what a profile page looks like. So when you first go to the site, you'll see the home page, but this is my profile page on here. And you can see people, you can do a star rating. We just started rolling that out yet. You can put any information about yourself, your contact information, if you want people to be able to go to your socials. You can find access, like this is what I share with my students, my potential students out there, so they can see who I am, what I do. Um, I've got the reviews over here. I've got videos and audios. I can even put files on here. I shared the fact that I've got my degrees so people can see that my credentials are valid. Skill sets, what type of services you offer, so people can contact you uh, depending on that. So this is kind of what the profile page looks like. And I've just been rolling out also ability for people to schedule courses. So you can send a link to your students. They can pay for it, say a bundle of classes, like 10 pack of classes, 25, whatever it is that we've got set up for you. And then they can schedule them on the calendar as well. So
So you're not
it's a nice
accepting
feature.
payments for classes though, right? Is that
So this would come in right now. This is set up where the payments would end up coming to us, and then we would pay the teacher out minus the fees. Uh, that's how that is currently set up. So you send it out, and then the student schedules the class with you. The money comes through the tutor resource, but then goes out at the end of the month to the teachers who are doing it, doing the scheduling.
okay?
So
All right.
it's a nice little setup that we're trying to roll out here. And we're actually looking for a test group of teachers that want to help us participate and figure out all the logistics of it.
Okay. Cool. And show us the curriculum part. Is that on
Yes.
the
So I'm gonna
main
go
page
back to the
there?
home page. So I'll go
Okay.
back to the home page right here. Do-do-do. All right. So on the home page here, uh, we just kind of did a little bit of a redesign. So we actually
Cool.
have free classes. So some of our curriculum providers have put up some free lessons, and you can click through and access some of them so you can test out their lessons right here. Um, what's new, some of the new products that are put out there by teachers. These are the different highlighted curriculums right now. This will be changing every month as things get put on there. We'll shuffle it around so people can see new things. And we also tell people what is the top used stuff on the site as well, so people can access whatever they see other people are accessing. We have a full shop, but the menus are really easy to use. Right now, we have our curriculums menu. This is our ESL curriculums. As we get some non-ESL stuff on here, we'll be changing the menus so that you can see different genres, whether it's history or core subjects or extracurriculars or whatever it might be. But if we go to, say, let's go to Wonderful Kingdom. I'm going to click on that one. So Wonderful Kindergarten. These are all wonders-based lessons. And so she's got her first level 1 stuff on here. She's uploading a level 2 as well. But there's lots of things in here. And what's really cool about them is if you click on one, once you've paid for and rented it, these have several courses in one. So this one lesson has 3 different lessons in it. So you could
Right.
teach it
Okay.
day 1, day 2, day 3, or however you set it up for your student. And it's clickable, so I can go straight to the day 3 stuff by clicking on it, and it would take me into the day 3 material. Um,
That looks like Wonders adapted, I think.
yes, so she
Yeah.
adapted it, which is wonderful because so many people like Wonders,
Yeah.
and she wanted to make something
A
because she
ton of
likes
work.
using Wonders. So it's a lot
Yeah.
of work to convert it, but she's transferred it to another medium, which is really good. We have another
Yeah.
teacher who's putting stuff on here for that's RAS based and
Okay.
inspired. And then we have the Teachers Together curriculum, which is very VIP kid-ish. It was designed by VIP kid teachers who really love that style, and so like I'm one of them. So of course I like to talk about it, but we did make it so that it kind of resembles the same kind of look and feel. So if you were a VIP kid teacher and you liked that type of lesson plan, we have those types of on here as well.
Okay.
Uh, More advanced lessons. I have Blue Cherry English and Brian's Intermediate and Advanced. They're really good for older students. Like look at some of the topics: school dress code, group work, procrastination, paper bags, and it gets into more of the free talk into in those areas. So some
I'll
really
just pull
really
this down for a
cool.
second. So you're the just so people understand, I understand, but I just wanted everyone in case this was a question I had. So let's say you want to access one of the curriculum, you're paying those creators individually, right? For
Correct.
those. Okay. Would you ever roll out something as like a whole membership site? I don't know if that would probably be really difficult where they can access. Yeah, maybe that would be
I've
difficult to
I,
do.
I have thought about it, and
Yeah.
there might be at one point where we do roll out um, X dollars a month for all the courses, but it's something I would have to discuss first off with the creators I have on board and then modify the terms for those coming on board later, where you would get X percentage or something like that. So it's something I
Yeah.
haven't given a ton of thought to, but I have given a little thought to it. Right now, the
Yeah.
creators love the way it currently is because we keep the
Okay.
prices low. The prices
Yeah.
are not really high. If I go to like Brian's subscribe link right here, he's got like 25 lessons on here currently, and more to come. But if I go to his subscribe link here, and we can look, he's got a lot of different lessons, as you can see, and it details what all the lessons are about within his section here. There's a free info section for parents, um, but I'm currently enrolled in it. If I were to log out of my profile and look at it, then the access plans will pop up and you can actually see costs. So if I go to, now I want to go over to Brian's and I'll go to his subscribe and it'll take me to the course page again. Now you see it looks a little different. So one single month of access to all of his materials is only $7.50, or you can get a recurring subscription for $5 a month. He
Okay.
also has all of his lessons individually as $1 a day. So if you wanted to get a single lesson, you just pay $1 for it for that day.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice because I think a lot of teachers sometimes like, "Oh, I just want maybe just this lesson right now," and
yeah,
then they can decide later on.
yeah, and it's
Mm.
more. It's more for as a creator for you. It would be more for marketing, because you really don't. There's no real profit after everybody after all
Yeah.
the fees and everything go back and forth with PayPal and all that stuff. But it's really
Yeah.
it's almost a free lesson in a sense, but it's a way for us to gauge interest. The creator still gets to have a little bit of a profit for their hard work, and teachers get to see an example of the lessons that are not currently marked as free. But like
Cindy has
Brian,
found a spelling mistake.
oh good. If we've got a
I know
spelling
what that's
mistake, I'll
like.
definitely.
I'm terrible with spelling typing online without the L. Thank you,
I know.
Cindy. The
Thank you,
spelling
Cindy.
Nazi.
We'll take a look at that. But yeah, if
So
there's a free lesson, they're also marked free right here. So you can see Brian's first lesson, Gaming Addiction, is a free lesson anybody can take without even doing the
okay.
dollar a day. Yeah,
Well, I've got too many layers here. I'm just gonna pull down that one there. Okay, so creators can decide on how they charge for their courses. Correct.
correct, correct. We
What do
give
you
some
guys pay?
ideas and we give some ideas and guidelines that best practices since other teachers have been doing it. But yeah, people can do whatever they want with their pricing.
Okay. And do you guys take a percentage of that?
Yes. So currently we are doing a 75-25 split.
Okay. So good to know. All right, cool. If there's any more questions from those watching about how it works, feel free to ask before we close up shop here. But the link to the tutor resource is, I spelt it wrong originally. I missed out that R, but yeah,
Yeah,
the
that
tutor,
middle R,
it's
tutor
a tough one,
resource.
right? But anyway, the
Yeah, that
tutorresource.com, and it's linked in the show notes here. If you're on Facebook or YouTube watching, you'll be able to just click it and go make a free account. So no harm in that, and check it out and pop around and see what's there. I think it's great. I think what you guys are doing is awesome, and providing a place for creators to house their things. But also, I like the idea of the profile and stuff like that, because there's a lot of teachers that don't want to, make websites and things like that. So that's an option. Good. Cindy says she likes the site. Very good resource. Thanks. Very cool. Is there anything else, David, that I'm missing or that you wanted to mention about the tutor resource?
I think we covered a good
Covered it?
portion of it. If people
Yeah.
do have questions, they can always send
Yeah.
out a message.
What's your contact? They can
And
contact you through the site?
yes, they can contact through the contact page or even on the FAQ page. They both have contact information for me.
Okay. Cindy's asking, do
So
you have a
I
YouTube
do. I
channel?
see Cindy. Yes. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that, Cindy. Yes, we do have a YouTube channel. You can just find the tutor resource. Right now, it's been some instructional videos. We show people on there directly how to use it in Classin because that seems to be one of the biggest questions. How do I use it in Classin?
Uh-huh.
We've Zoom and different things like that. Screen sharing, people have no problem with, but we wanted to teach people how to do that. I've been doing uh, showcases where I'll showcase off a certain curriculum on there. I haven't been doing any lives like Tim here, but you never know. We might do some
You never
interviews
know.
with our creators down the road
Yeah, that'd be cool.
to get some of their information
I know
out.
you
So
had Leslie. She's with the Teachers Together English, right?
that's correct. Yes.
Yeah, she was in my course not that long ago. So yeah, that'd be cool. Nice to hear from other creators out there. Cindy wants to share this info on her channel. Cindy's a YouTuber and does a
That'd
lot
be
of great
wonderful.
content there as well.
That would be
Is
wonderful.
the
Thanks,
market
Cindy.
saturated? I think you're talking about the ESL market. No, I mean there's always going to be ESL learners all over the world wanting to learn English. So definitely not saturated. Uh, Non-Chinese companies, perhaps they go on and off with their hiring, so it can be challenging. And some of the marketplaces tend to be like italki and Preply, kind of tend to be a little bit of a race to the bottom, and the prices that teachers are charging are very, very low. So I always think that going independent and doing your own marketing and building your own thing is the best way to charge what you're worth. There she is.
There she is.
I
There.
knew you might be here. Okay.
Oh,
Thanks so
Tim,
much, David. Yeah, go ahead.
another big question I've gotten from a lot of ESL student teachers is, can they use the lessons from the tutor resource on all school or out
Good
school?
question.
And the answer is yes, they can. The teachers that are the creators on there have given permission, and I'm not sure if the all schools and out schools exact needs, if they need a special thing in writing or anything. But we will start adding a disclaimer onto each curriculum page in case they do need something like that to show to all school and out school. Uh,
Yeah. I did a
but yes,
video. I'm connected with All School in terms of a little bit of promotion, but I know teachers are teaching like some already pre-made curriculum on there. So it's, again, yeah, up to the creator, but I don't know about anything beyond that. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that. That's a good point, because that is another thing that, is can be a bit of a headache for those that are making classes and don't really know how to make lessons or don't want to when they get started. So yeah.
yeah.
Cool. What's the rest of your day like in Guatemala?
Oh, today, well, we're getting ready since we leave on Wednesday. So today's start to do some housekeeping, get that ready, start packing. You can't pack everything, but
Wait, you're in
getting
Guatemala now? Did I get that wrong?
no, yeah, I am getting
Yeah,
in
you're in Guatemala now.
Guatemala,
Okay.
in Guatemala City. And so yeah, just kind of getting things ready for the big move.
Yeah,
So it's everything we own goes in our car. We have to unpack and pack, but we've got it down to pretty much to a science.
I bet. And now that you have kids, right? So you travel as a family.
That's true. I
Are
have
your
a
how old are your
son, yeah,
kids? Your
a
son,
9-year-old. Yeah,
9-year-old. Okay. Yeah, I think so many people think, I couldn't do this. I've got, especially if you've got kids. It's just it would be too difficult. I got to wait until they graduate, but you're doing it.
my wife runs a wonderful blog all about family travel and how to do this, especially with a kid. There's not
Yeah.
a
What is
lot out
that
there
one?
teaching. It's ouroffbeatlife.com.
Our offbeat life. There you go. So if you want to learn about what David and Brody do and how they travel as a family, great information on there at ouroffbeatlife.com. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah, you can see us on
Cool.
Instagram too. My son actually helps me make all the reels.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're way better at that than we are.
Yeah, they love it. It's fun.
Cool. Thanks, David. Well, I'll let you go and get on with your busy day. So appreciate you coming on.
All
And
right, thank
if
you.
anyone wants to contact David, you can get on the website there, the tutorresource.com, and contact him if you have any questions. So yeah, thanks again. Appreciate
Sounds
it.
great. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right.
Well, that was awesome. Thanks everyone for listening and staying to the end. And I've got all the information for that in the show notes. And check it out. Leave me a question if you've got anything, and I'll try to help answer it or ask David to answer it for you. But great to have everybody on the channel today, and hope you have a wonderful day, whatever you are doing. If you're teaching online or you have other things going on, it was great to have you watching the show. Before you leave, do me a favor and do hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And it really helps, free for you to do, helps the video to get out to more people. And as well as hitting the like button, I would really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day and happy teaching.